For fans of true crime stories, one question is asked more often than any other. Is there such a thing as a perfect murder? What would this entail? Lack of evidence, no witnesses, no motive. Historically, there is one murder that stands tall above all others. The mysterious killing of Isidore Fink in 1929. Isidore Fink, a native of Poland, left his home to seek his fortune in the promised land of America. Fink immigrated to America shortly after World War II. Working hard, he managed to save enough money to open up his new laundry in New York City. On the 9th of March 1929, Fink was out making deliveries around his neighbourhood through the night until he reached his living quarters at 4 East 132nd Street at 10:15 p.m. His living quarters was attached to his laundry. This part of town was not a particularly safe place. Crime was rife, and Fink was a particularly cautious person. He never left a window or door unlocked. He only let people he knew into his property. All his windows and doors had multiple bolt locks. At approximately 10:30 p.m, Mrs. Lachlan Smith, Fink's neighbour who lived next door, ran to the nearby Harlem police station to report hearing gunshots and screaming in a loud thud. Officer Albert Kattenborn was dispatched to the address. On arrival, he noted that the front door was locked from the inside. He tried to enter the property via a small window which was above the door. This did not work as the window had been nailed shut from the inside. The policeman smashed the window but discovered it was far too small to fit through. It would take someone very little in stature to pass through. The police officer enlisted a small boy from the crowd who watched his attempt to enter and unlock the door. Once through, Fink's corpse was discovered on the floor with 2 bullet holes in his chest and one more through his wrist. Investigation of the scene discovered that all the windows and doors had been locked from the inside. In fact, the windows were actually nailed shut. This led investigators to believe that this was a case of suicide. But this was also dismissed because there was no sign of any weapon. Robbery was quickly ruled out. Fink had money on his person and valuables were untouched. Fingerprints were taken, but only Fink's were found. This was clearly a case of homicide. So how did the murderer get inside and leave without a trace, and what was the motive? So did the property have any secret hidden openings in the walls? The answer is no. And also, no secret doors were found. The murderer managed to gain entrance into a heavily locked property, commit the crime, leaving no evidence behind, and then escaping, locking the doors and windows from the inside. Another question is, was Fink shot outside and then stumbled inside the building, locking the door behind him, then collapsing and dying on the floor? This sounds like an answer, but examining the body, the coroner found that Fink would have died instantly after being shot and would not have been able to stumble or lock a door. This man had been murdered in a room where the doors and the windows were locked from the inside and no other way of exiting the property. There was no motive, no witnesses, no weapon, and no evidence. This case remains unsolved after almost 100 years. So looking at all the evidence, what do you think happened? Leave a comment with your answer.